Are we on? Are we on? Welcome to Basketball Heads Live. I am your host, Glenn Pooh Harding. And oh boy, we have a very special guest. This basketball head is called the Godfather of Bronx Street Basketball. He played for St. Anthony's Church, Riverside Church, and was a founding member of the New York Gauchos. So you already know it's going to be real. He was an all-city player from Taft High School as one of the top players in New York City coming from the Bronx. He also played in the 4th annual legendary Wheelchair Classic. How many of you ever heard of the Wheelchair? If you heard of the Wheelchair Classic, I wanted you to hit those like buttons and subscribe if you heard of the Wheelchair. And if you didn't, you should do it anyway, because now you're going to learn what New York City basketball was all about. After high school, this basketball head played at San Jacinto Junior College in Texas from 1977 to 1979. After JUCO, he received a scholarship to attend the University of Massachusetts. But like most colleges back then, they didn't honor their scholarship accommodations, so he left school. And I'll leave it up to him to explain the rest of that story. The NBA was calling, but the streets was talking louder. Get my drift? I'll let him tell you that story too. This basketball head took his talents overseas in countries like Israel, Venezuela, and Puerto Rico, just to name a few. His life was spent playing for coaches who were all millionaires. With his friend, Angel Cruz Machito. They spent their time chasing that big bag that was given to the top players during the 1970s and early 80s. Y'all know what it was like in New York City during that time. Y'all gonna get to know tonight. So all those guys was getting paid to play ball. They wasn't doing it like the guys who was getting paid uptown. And if it's not true, let me know. Later, he would start a tournament called the Superstar Classic to honor his brother who passed away. May he rest in peace. And with saying that, without further ado, help me welcome to the show the Godfather of the Bronx Streetball, Taft High School, and Bronx legend, Curtis Cornbread Paul.
Y'all ready?
Y'all ready?
Yes. You have just stepped out into the world of chaos. Where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody. Get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
What's going on? What's going on, King? How you doing?
Greetings, my brother. Glenn, I want to give you your flowers. I want to thank you, man. Many blessings to your health and wealth. I want to thank you for taking this time out to put me on this show. I really appreciate you, Glenn Pooh Hardy. I want to just thank you for that. I don't do this for economic gain or chasing that bag. I just want people to know that. I do this to understand my life, and so people can understand my life. I'm misunderstood, and I'm 65 now, and I'm enjoying life. I live like a king because I am a king with no exacts.
Well, let me tell you, I spoke to you earlier, and I said I was just at a documentary which talked to and gave homage and talked about some of the pioneers in hip hop that people kind of forgot about, right? And it just made me think about tonight's show. And I'm not saying that people forgot about you. Like you said, they don't really know your real story because they heard it from somebody else probably. Never really got to hear it from your mouth. And I said tonight, I'm going to make sure that people get a chance to know everything that they need to know about you, Cornbread, because you touched so many. We got over 23 people in the room right now. My guy, Ayatollah Beats, what's up, what's up? He wanted to just show love, always on the check-in. One of the top producers and DJs in New York City. And, of course, we got one of the top refs in New York City, my guy, Everett Reaver, always on the check-in. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, man, definitely want to salute everybody who came in through tonight. And everybody, hit up that chat, man. Hit those like buttons. Hit those subscribe buttons. And spread the word. And let everybody know we got Cornbread on tonight. Like, real talk. Like, y'all have no idea how big this is for me in New York City right now, man, to have this man on the platform. So, you know, we want to make sure that he gets the respect that's due to him. You know, I see you got, all right, now explain this. I see you got Gregory up there, right?
Yes.
Let people know, because I know you as Curtis.
Let me break that down to you.
Yes.
A lot of people know my government name. And my mother, when she was young, thanks to the queen and to my father, the king, that gave me this life to create me. You know, I was a billionaire when I was born. Let me give some people some history on that, because I was swimming in those testicles. There's a billion of those. And so I was the only one that came out fortunate. So I consider myself a billionaire heir at birth. So in Gregory, it came from my mother giving me two names to be the greatest. Gregory is my first name. Curtis is my second name. And Phauls is my last name. That's rare and it's air. I was born into money, and I'm not going to talk about what I have. I'm just going to talk about how highly I'm blessed and highly favored.
No doubt, man.
Came from, I was born in New York. I was born in the Bronx, and I'm a Bronx native. And that name came from an actor, Tony Curtis. So she couldn't name me Tony Curtis because of the pygmy color. She named me Gregory Curtis. She named me Gregory Curtis because I am not just one person. I'm two people at the same time. I'm a Gemini, born and raised. So self-made. That's what I am, self-made. And for all the listeners that don't know the story, I'm going to tell you the truth about my life, so you can put a zipper on all the talk, the chit-chatter, because you heard it from me, and I have a receipt for it.
Well, I want to jump right into the first question, which I always ask all my guests. Who introduced you to the game?
Who really introduced me to the game? I'm going to give very thanks, and I'm going to give his flowers to my older brother, McNeil Phauls Sr. I mean, not senior. He got it from my father, so he's a junior. So he's a senior to me in my life because he instilled all the goodness and the great in me. He took me out at the age of 7 and said, listen, this is your niche and skill, and I don't want you to be out in these streets. And he took me out in the rain and snow. So all the shares that I have in my life, I owe it to my older brother.
Salute to your older brother. Got Anthony Rainey on the check-in. He said, in the house, my brother Cornbread, I have witnessed the greatness from the beginning, from 23 Park in the Bronx. Salute, Anthony Rainey. Wow. What was life growing up for you in the Bronx?
Well, I'm going to tell the people the truth, man. I wasn't born in poverty. I was born gifted. I was raised not in the projects. I was raised privately, private houses. And the truth is, I salute my father, but he was a workaholic. He really wasn't around. He wasn't there to hold my hand, to take me to school, to show me that fatherly love. So I salute him to the day, because he made me be the man that I am today, to be responsible and be independent. So what it was like raising in the Bronx, it was hell up in Harlem on this earth. It was a terror. I went through the system, but I didn't go to the system. This is history. The system means going to jail, getting a criminal record. The system means being independent and learning your values and responsibility and learning your own history. You have to know your history. Know your history. When you know your history from decade to decade, then you can understand life. Some people, if you're not born in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, you can't understand what a person is talking about, what they went through 365 days a year. So if you born in the 80s and the 90s, how could you understand a brother is born in the 50s? So I made it self-made. I am self-made, and it was hard. It was terror. I worked since I was 14. I started playing ball at the age of 7 due to a lot of complications that I had. I got $1 million check for the age of 12. I was a pro basketball player when I was in high school. I played at Madison Square Garden when I was in high school, but the streets was calling. It was more money in the streets and the people that I surround myself with by being privileged that drove me to being the person I am today.
All right, we're gonna definitely walk through that step by step, man, because I want people to understand the process and then the transitions you had to make in your life to become the person you are today, and then also to be able to reflect back on those things and mistakes that you made, so other people could, look at your life story and hear your words and, follow the right lead in life, right? So, salute. Thank you, Lisa Pierce. Said, thank you, cuz. Preach, I love you. Man, you got such a loving family. Can you tell me what was some of the things that you was interested outside of basketball growing up? Like, let's talk about what a young Gregory Curtis was doing before he got introduced to basketball and transitioned into when that first light went off that you knew that basketball was going to be the key for you.
By the powers they be, I'm just here to tell you that I was hurt at the age of 6. I'm here to talk about it. I was left for dead by some real powerful political people, and that introduced me to the game of basketball because I was just not really lost. I wasn't going to school. I didn't go to school since 2nd grade. I had phobia of school because I was left for dead in a pit because, choices that I didn't make. By the powers they be. I played ball, I played tag, I played skellies, all the original games.
Skelly, that right word.
I played Ring Around the Rosie, I played Hot Piece and Butter, and we played Johnny on the Podium. It was love back in those days in the 70s. People was hooked on heroin and glue. And the people that was hooked on heroin and glue, they wasn't dangerous like they are today. And, it's a different transition in life now when you see people. So I came in this world to be very, how would you say, lovable. I don't want to be nobody's boss. And I don't like nobody bossing me around because of, the tragedy I had in my life. And I'm still healing from that. And powers that be, I'm still here today. When the justice system control your life, you had millionaires when I was growing up, taking control of your life, playing ping pong, the founder of the Gauchos and, the organization of Riverside and the Gauchos battling who's going to sign this player to be the face of the organization. Those things is a little difficult when you don't know. You don't know your coach. Learn how to know your coach. Learn how to know the organization and make sure you get the right support. So it was really hard for me to make that transition. And my brother instilled with me, like, this is what you're going to do. This is your niche. This is your skill. I got to make sure you follow through this. So I'm thankful. I worked most prestigious jobs in the world, Gotham Western Building, the Grace Building. I could have worked in a cage. I worked for most of the Jews in my life. People don't understand that. You got to go through the Jews to get what you really want. I have to say this because people don't understand that. So most of the billionaires and millionaires that I went through and came through in life, they was Jewish. So we're going to go through that segment too. So I learned how to, come through and transition my life to being gifted, spoiled, and privileged at the same time. I don't chase money. Money chase me. I'm self-made.
That sounds like the name of the movie or the name of the book right there. Self-made. For
That's
sure.
what it is.
That's right. So that's your clothing line?
Yes.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Ron McCants, what's up? What's up, King? Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Said, peace, Glenn. Peace, Cornbread. He said, young people don't know about those games. Eric Hicks said, 50 babies are different.
Let me touch on that too. This is real true. I got receipts for this because people was born in my era. You know, the NBA wasn't paying. The NBA, the salary cap was $60,000 in the 80s and, 70s and the 80s. So figure that. I'm around millions of dollars. I'm sitting in the room, $500,000. I won't call out no names. I have receipts for it. And, so it changed my life where I didn't have to chase money. When this is true, so I have a receipt for it. When the Knicks, this is one of my mentors. His name is Carlton Green. So I'm gonna throw this out there.
Modo.
When I got on the West Side, he taught me how to shoot off the backboard, and he introduced me to my third millionaire. The millionaire name, I'll throw it out there, was Jerry Schuster. Jerry Shue. He was from Queens, and he had a house upstate in Orange County in Newburgh, and he sold rare paintings. He's Jewish. He paid us to play and integrate all the YMCAs in Queens, Forest Hill and all that. So I was one of the blacks that integrated the YMCAs when I was young, due my mentor, Carlton Green. So, life has changed for me. When you see a sign of wealth, you get happy and things change in your life. So, my accommodations are different. Some people, they have to take what people give them. I select what I want in life. I'm one of the chosen few. I'm God's child.
Man, this is powerful, man. Woo! Bruce Harris says, let them know, he said, let them know, my big brother.
Let me touch on that too. Bruce is like my brother from another mother, and he's the reason why I'm on your show.
Facts.
Economic gain. So people think I do things for economic gain. No, I don't. I give back to society. Just because I don't live for them and I'm not a celebrity for them, I am a celebrity for myself. I validate myself. I don't need no validation. And, by the powers that be, Bruce, when he asks me to do something, I don't say no. So that's my brother from another mother. He's the reason why I'm on your show. I don't do things for economic gain. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But Bruce said, I'm going to do it. No questions asked. Follow up on that. And Bruce was my organization. I'll touch on this too. The MCOR program. I know Cecil Walker's in them.
Yeah.
Real story. When I went to Venezuela, I had to go on Wayne McCoy's ticket because at that time, people wasn't educated enough to know they only want 7-footers overseas. See, you got to know your history about basketball and eras. Back in the 80s, they only wanted 7-foot players.
Right.
So I had to use Wayne McCoy's name. They knew I was very talented. They sent me over to Venezuela, and I waited in the airport like an hour and a half because I didn't have an interpreter, and they wasn't looking for Gregory Curtis Phauls. They was looking for Wayne McCoy. That was 80 racks when I got finished. So once they realized I was there as a ball player to represent the country, Venezuela's Caracas, the organization said to me, listen, this is a mistake here. But what I am going to do, I'm going to bring you in. And if you try out, if we like what we see, we're going to keep you. And if we don't like what we see, we got a plane ticket for you tomorrow. So once I stepped on the court, I didn't need no validation. My IQ was high. So I got that 80 racks. And this is what I'm telling a lot of people. Love your parents. Always remember that, especially your mother. I need to throw that in there. If it wasn't for my mother, I wouldn't be here today to tell this story. She's in the heavens now, and those wings, they protected me. So I gave back. Always. Your mother is the only one on this earth that carried you 12 months and extra. So remember that to all of these young heads. These young heads nowadays, you have to fit into their world. Don't try to fit into their world. When you older, you create your own world. So I'm blessed and thankful that I was able to help my mother get a house in Alabama. So I can say that. You understand what I'm saying? I played that ball. I spent that ball. That ball didn't spin me. This is why I'm here today, very healthy.
Definitely amen on that one for sure. Let's talk about who were some of the people that you were admiring coming up. Was it the pro basketball players or was it the guys playing in the neighborhood?
Well, I'm gonna throw this out there for Clinton High School. My mentor is Bobby Minus. You know, when I got hurt when I was young, he didn't ask no questions. He knew there was something wrong with me, and he sheltered me. He put me in St. Anthony's, and Father Stelz took care of me. From that church right there, I grew up Catholic. I am Baptist. And I'm gonna give a shout out right now to Bishop Owens that's making me heal to today. Yes, Bishop Owens, this is for you. I salute you to today. You're a part of my life and you're not going nowhere. So my idol is Dr. J. That was the reason why I went to the University of Massachusetts. Dr. J. And this is why I tell people today, you know, once you privileged and you born, I wasn't born really into royalty. I made it that way. And the accommodation wasn't right. Dr. J don't know me to today. Dr. J wasn't there, no welcoming or nothing. And this is for you, Mr. Julius Irvin. Mr. Julius Irvin. I hope I get a chance to shake your hand before I leave this earth, invite you to my house and take a picture with you. Because I went to University of Massachusetts only on the strength of Dr. J. So when I went up, that was my idol.
Yeah, same for me. He was just a guy that, you know, we can watch, and his charisma, the way he treated people, the way he spoke, the way he dressed, and most definitely the way he played on the court. He was doing some remarkable things back then, and I could understand why he was definitely your idol. So we're gonna get to the part where, you know, you're in high school at Taft, right? Because you had Clinton to go to, Taft, you had Truman, you had all these other schools that you probably could have went to. What stood out about Taft, and how did you do when you got there?
Well, what stood out about Taft, first I had to go to a regional, Bronx regional, so I'll give it up to a lot of people that support that. Bing, Reggie Bing, and the staff, Bubba Gary, you know, Bob Minus, Geneva. They sheltered me because I was still healing on the, you know, the powers that be. You know, the system did me wrong. So I had to go to a regional school, and me picking Taft because I lived on Union Avenue, 165th Street. I should have been Bronx State. I should have went to Morris High School, but my tragedy, you know, my little episode, my tragedy that happened right in Morris. It wasn't inside the school. I was left in the pit. But the powers of be, God still got me here today. The talent, the Blue Devils, the morality, the ball players. One of my real mentors is Anthony Price. Anthony Price, he took me under his wings, Price. And he, no questions asked. He knew something wrong with me. He knew I had to heal, and he took me into his wings. They put me on the varsity when I was in 1974. We won a championship. I didn't want to play with the competitors.
What year was that? What year was that? Like what?
75.
No, I'm not talking about. Yeah, excuse me. What grade were you in when they put you on varsity?
I was the 9th grade to the 10th.
10th grade.
The 9th grade.
Damn. You know how tough it was. Now, again, salute, because you know, I made the varsity team in the 9th grade too. But when you made it, it was so much tougher. It was so much more competition. Not saying it wasn't competition I played, but it was totally different when you played.
Yes.
They didn't let a lot of 9th graders play varsity back then.
You have to play JV. Most of it, that was the, you know, the rules. A lot of people don't understand basketball today. The things that we do now, It's a joke. It's watered down. It's commercial. It's all about the bets, and it's all about showboating. Back then, we couldn't smack the backboards hard. We couldn't dunk. We couldn't cross people over. They put a block on a lot of talent. And we had that in us. We was really pros in school, and the recruitment allowed me to go to Taft High School. One of my best friends, I still stay with, connect today. I'm gonna have to throw this out there. It's Artie Green, Grasshopper.
Salute. That's right.
My brother Artie Green. I'm gonna talk about a lot of things in the segment, but I'm gonna give homage to a lot of people. I'm gonna give them the flowers because they surround me with this nurturing that I need to heal in life. So I'm thankful to be on this show. I really on this show so I can put zippers on a lot of people's mouth because they hear other conversation that didn't come from me. So you're gonna hear it from me, and it's the truth. I didn't want for nothing when I was young, and I don't want for nothing now.
So you had the stigma of chasing the bag and being a street person. What was the stigma that they put on you that that you felt was controversial or wasn't true?
The stigma was dyslexic, couldn't read, couldn't write. But at the end of the day, is check my resume. It's impeccable. I flew around this world more than one time. I played with every bagman and every millionaire that you can ask for. I could throw some names out there, but yet they say I wasn't educated. I threw my own tournament with my own money, the Superstar Classic, that invited all the players around this world. Anybody you can name played in a Superstar. And that was because my little brother, which he's not my brother, he's my brother from another mother, he's a family brother, Fojo, James Kusar. They said that he had an aneurysm on the court and that's how he died. No, that's not true. So when I got a wind of that, because he's from Highbridge, big up to everybody in Highbridge, especially my family, Bobby Lee, James Joy. When he passed away, I had to do something for him. So I started the Superstar Classic. So people want to know the truth about that. Yes, me, Kelly, Mark Felder, and Will Brooks. We are the founders of the Superstar Classic. Just like the Gauchos was founded in 1967. They didn't start getting no real ball players and that $1 million check from the NBA to 1973. And I was a member. If you wasn't in that huddle saying 1, 2, 3 Gauchos with your fist out, you're not a founder of the Gauchos. If you wasn't there before you had the shirts, the logo, you're not a founder. So this is education to a lot of people. And it hurts me to the day where, that building was put there, the Gauchos headquarters, on my sweat and my blood and Machito's, Cesar. We are the founders of that. We put our hands in the huddle and say 1, 2, 3 Gauchos so the NBA can endorse that check and give us $1 million so they can get the logo, so they can get the uniforms. I have one of the original jackets that was silk from the Gauchos they never even seen. So when I go to the Gauchos, they always say you got to pay this, and that. I looked at them like, hey, you got to know your history. So education, know your history.
Wow. When you bang on the table, it's kind of giving bad feedback. That's okay because I want you to be yourself. But it just gives some bad feedback.
Apologize.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. So that's another thing, right? I think that we have to do a better job is kind of respecting those who came before us. And you're right. When you walk in that Gaucho gym, you should have the red carpet rolled out for you. And I think there is a disconnect between some of the young generation and the older generation. So we can pay that forward.
Yes, let me elaborate on that too. By the powers that be, I'm going to say blessings to my brothers up in the heavens. This is the 3rd generation of wealth. Me, my brother Troy, TNT, and his daughter, my niece Autumn. So you have 3 different ball players that's going through that cycle, which the AAU, and they deploying money into, an organization which they don't give back to, to the youth. So this is why I'm on your show. This is why I want to take my time out and revitalize the Bronx. This is why I want to shout out a lot of millionaires that have money and sit back on it, because all my life I gave back to my community, and I still is to today. If God is willing and I'm here, I want to do a state-of-the-art facility with your help and a couple of investors that I know, and we can have something we can honor people in the Bronx. Your podcast can be in your own facility, my brother, because I appreciate you. I'm giving you your flowers and I salute you. Thank you for allowing the Bronx to give a platform. You have a platform and I have a platform. So I'm acknowledging that today. Thank you.
No doubt. I know you said TNT. Tell the world who your brother is, man.
Troy Truesdale. He went to Iona College. He graduated. The reason why he didn't go to the pros, they sent the wrong tape to San Antonio and Seattle. They only sent him just jumping and dunking. They ain't see no defense or nothing. So, by the powers they be, you have to know in life, sometimes with basketball, the justice system, people are blackballed. And when you on the blacklist in life, you have to really be careful. And, when I grew up at the age of 12 to 18, I got on the blacklist at 14. So, I had to not play the streets. Streets was my life, not just being in the streets. Surrounding myself around the, self-wealth, the people that want to do things for me and kid and love me and nurture me so I can heal right. So that's who my brother is. Till today, I still salute him and I miss him dearly. So I salute my brother in the heavens. He's watching over me. And this is reason why I'm on your show, so we can move forward, so we can give people the Bronx. The Bronx and Manhattan, I would say New York, is the mecca of basketball. I don't understand why we don't have no big facility. We don't have no big stadium there. Yankee Stadium, they moved it once or twice. They played with it, rebuilding and structuring a $1 trillion project. But what you doing for the youth in the Bronx? What? Tell me.
Well, I know Coach Gustus was working with this company to come up with a New York Basketball Hall of Fame, like a real building, and pay homage to all of those ball players who came before the generation that we have today, and kind of celebrate those who are still around and those that's not with us anymore. But I think we could definitely make sure something can happen. At least we could bring some attention to it. Get what I'm saying?
Thank you.
That's most important.
We have
that's most important.
We have to honor Deontay Ball. We have to honor Ross Strickland. We have to honor Walter Berry. All those that made it to that level. People say, he wasn't a pro. To tell the truth is, I didn't have to be validated through you. That's the problem I had in life. People wanted me to be a celebrity for them so they can have some validation for themselves. The NBA wasn't for me until today. I'm not sorry. I don't look at it well. I should have been there, done that. No, because I wouldn't be here to be on your show, and I wouldn't have the love that I have now. I just wanted to be loved, healed, in life. I had more money than the NBA can pay me, and I still do. So with that being said, I'm blessed and highly favored. When you're sitting around millionaires and you're sitting around a room where, you see nothing but stacks of money, and, it's not really yours, because I was a bag man. I worked in the organization, was powerful. My best friend, Bobby Lee, he worked for the Gambinos. We had the best cars when I was 12. I got chauffeured to school all the time. I want to give a shout out to the twins from the West Side, Donald and Ronald, that took me back and forth to and from school, Taft High School. And, I want to get a shout out to my family, Will Lurvy, because he's my chauffeur, my family too. I didn't want to sit in the back. I had about 20, 30 cars. My brother gave me 3 cars, my older brother. So here, salute to you, Phauls Jr. McNeil Phauls Jr., here, you getting shares in my life, because anything I do, half of it belongs to you. I'm here today because you helped me, you pushed me. You instilled the goodness and the greatness in me, and I want to thank you for that. So, it was a little different. I really didn't want for nothing when I was in the Bronx. By the powers that be, I was touched, and God saved me. Talk about the good things and the bad thing. One time I had a bag, 20, 30,000. I got robbed. Wasn't my money, but at the end of the day is the people know that I was good. The people know I don't scam. The people know I don't steal. I don't steal. I don't beg, maybe I borrow, but I don't steal. And that's why I'm gifted in life. So this is for all the listeners who peg me wrong. This is for my neighbors who misunderstands me. I don't want for anything. You don't have nothing to give me. So I am blessed and highly favored.
When was your transition, like after your freshman year when you joined the team? When did you kind of catch on and know that you was going to be one of the top players on the team? Did it happen your freshman year, your sophomore year, junior year, senior year? Let everybody know.
It happened my senior year when I knew that when I played in Madison Square Garden, I was like, hey, this is it. This is the big life, and, I can do this. But by the powers that be, my mentor, when the Knicks didn't do right, let me say this again. It wasn't Dolan, it was the family. So I don't want to discriminate and I don't want to talk bad about them. When they didn't do right by my mentor, Carlton Green, signed him to a 10-day contract, knowing that they didn't want to keep him in the NBA and they didn't want him to play for the Knicks, but they didn't want him to get traded, and they did him that way, I lost interest in basketball and the love of the game. Especially, I'm a fan, but I'm not a New York Knicks fan because how they did my brother, my mentor. So my transition in life, where I knew I was a pro when I was 14 years old. I knew I was a pro when I got that check. And, by the powers that be, that check came from one of the millionaires, which is a billionaire now. And I'm a founder of the organization where I didn't cash the check. So had that being said, that's why I'm gifted today, because I don't do nothing wrong. So going through the system and not going through the system, that's a blessing. I played for all the jails through my other mentor, Fred Myers. So people going to know Freddie Myers. So I'm going to throw that out. I salute him. He's not here. He's one of the millionaires that helped me. And this is a story I tell a lot of people. As my transition and I got older and mature in life, I got burnt out in the Bronx. So I elevated my game and went across the bridge to Manhattan. And that's where the money was. That's where all the bagmen were. I'm not going to say hustlers, all the bagmen was. I can throw out a lot of names, but I don't want to do that. I used to go to the Manhattan. Once I crossed the bridge, 55th, I might have $20 in my pocket. But when I leave Harlem, I got 4,000 or 5,000 in my pocket. Most of the games in Harlem, they was 300, 400,000. So having said that, that's why the NBA wasn't calling me. If I wanted to go to the NBA, I have another billionaire, John Corey, the corporate league. His father owned the tip of Bergen County in Jersey, and he had half of the shares in the Nets. And one of his little, I would say, scouters was Ernie. I don't want to say the last name.
Got you.
On scouting me out. You want to play in the NBA? You want to play for the Nets? You want to play for the Nets? At that time, I have 4,000 or 5,000 in my pocket. I have hundreds in the left and 50s and 20s in the right. So at that time, no, thank you so much, because the NBA, you wasn't offering. And the real truth of the matter is, I played with John Williams, Super John Williams, that played with the Nets. Had Dr. J went to the Nets, then I would have played in the NBA. I was disappointed by not getting a warm welcome, getting a big article saying that I could play in the 1980 Olympics, till coming to University of Massachusetts, the recruitment sucks. We won 4 games, and it was like the Mardi Gras, they partying. They put me in the dormitory, co-ed, and I'm living in a condo, and I got a 3-room apartment. I got a water bill. I have all this. I have cars. Why, as a junior, you're putting me in a co-ed? I mean, you know, you can say what you want, but at the end of the day, is some people have to gravitate and take what they give. Nah, it wasn't for me. So I am blessed and highly favored in that way.
So let's just get this straight, right? So we don't sidetrack any kids with this. It wasn't that you didn't want to go to the NBA. You saw what they did to your friend. Once they did that to your friend, that turned you off from the NBA, right?
Yeah.
And that turned you off from the NBA. Also, you was living such a different life that they couldn't even offer you the money to even tempt you to go, because after what you saw with your friend, and they were just going to offer you half, not even a quarter of the money that you already have, you know, in the bag that you were getting. It didn't make sense to you. And we talking about a different time, right? So I don't want anybody or any kids watching this and thinking,
absolutely,
he said, you know what, I'm gonna just choose the choice of the streets and not go to the NBA. But there's so many other things, even to the day's business of NBA basketball, that a lot of kids don't understand, a lot of grown-ups don't understand, that goes on behind the scenes, that it would just blow your mind. Right? So everybody got to walk their own path and choose the situation that's right for them.
Absolutely.
We're saying, look, we're happy to have you here today for you to even survive all the things that you went through.
Yes, absolutely.
And be here to talk about it, right?
Yes, thank you so much. And by the powers they be, you know, when you're a diplomat at every country and you control the justice system, sometimes you have to be careful what you do in life. And in the 70s, the justice system had me under wraps. You know, they had a file on me. That's like I tell people today, I don't want to, you know, ruin a lot of things, is, you know, I was on the blacklist because I didn't want to do what they say. So, you know, this is why I didn't really want to go to the NBA, because it wasn't the talent. It wasn't the knowledge. It was the justice system. They played with my life, and I'm still healing today behind that. So I want people to understand that. You know, I didn't want to make no excuse. I kind of feel that, you know, I didn't make that level where I played in every beautiful arena in the world. But at the end of the day, is my life is what it is, and I'm thankful to have this beautiful king life that I live. So, you know, everybody can't do what I do. Everybody can't fill these shoes. I can't do what you do. People can't do what I do. I go to places in this world where I'm only invited to. I'm invited to the Outer Banks in North Carolina, Indian Reservation, the Hill. I'm invited to Harlem. Thank you to my family, the Tucker family, Crystal Tucker. Sit around $1 million worth of crystals and heal. Sit around the dog that healed me. I'm invited to different places in this world where I am still healing. I want to be, just give these people their flowers and say, thank you for sharing and taking the time out to say, you know what? No questions asked. Here, this is what you deserve. And I'm thankful and grateful that. I'm grateful for the life that I have now. I'm grateful for my wife that's in my life. She said, you don't have to work because you've been through a whole lot. Put your foot up for the rest of your life. She's still an essential worker. And I'm grateful for that, for the love. I'm grateful for playing basketball, going to Harlem, getting that bag. Now, I played for at least 500, hear me good, 500 bagmen that really was well off. I played for, let me say this again, Freddie Myers. People know this. This is Milbank, so you can research this. Freddie took care of me, not through basketball season, every day of my life. Freddie had me come down to Harlem, 115th Street, and say, 5 o'clock, be here. I'm there at 5 o'clock. He go in his pocket and peel out 5 $100 bills, 5 $100 bills, and say, I see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So Monday through Friday, I'm getting $500 a day and extra on the weekend. So I'm gonna salute Chick Juice, Chick All Stars. Chick, it was another one. Gerald Spencer, Scruples. He took care of me. And I didn't want for nothing all year round as a coach. Some of these coaches, you have to learn your coach, because a lot of these coaches, they have some way of life where they can pluck you like an advertiser because they are millionaires and you can't do nothing about it. When a coach congratulates you on the court and pat you in your head, that's a real coach. When a coach congratulates you on the court, this is history, and come in and want to say, while you taking a shower, oh, congratulations, then you got to beware. So, having said that, this is why I'm not in the NBA. By the powers that it be, the justice system controlled my life, and it wasn't good for me.
We're going to throw a tech on the play, man. And this is always the positive tech, man. Just to reflect and go back, because as you talking about, all the things that you kind of experienced, and I think once that tragedy happened to you at 6 years old, it kind of deterred your life from trusting people, kind of depending on yourself, and not wanting to put yourself in a situation where you may be taken advantage of. So as I'm listening to your story, I'm getting it a little bit better, right, and understanding. Because a lot of research that I did and the things that I do know, which was nothing that you said tonight, you can't find that on the internet. But
Yes.
putting the pieces together to kind of understand everything, right? Because we want to kind of put this in context.
And I want to people on that scholarship to Massachusetts. This is how it's supposed to go down.
Yes. This is after San Jack, correct?
Yes.
Now, before you get to Massachusetts, what other colleges could you have went to besides Massachusetts?
Well, you know what? UCLA, Pepperdine, it was like, to tell the truth, Don Adams, he had his favorites. So I don't want to say no names. Me, Artie Green, we had boxes of scholarship that he hid from us until today. We didn't still see it. So,
wow.
Chosen to a lot of good schools that, I could have went to. And, my skills was impeccable. So, that's being said where, I don't really want to just throw some dirt on to coaches. You have to know your coaches.
No, but you wanted to go to Massachusetts because of Dr. J, correct?
Yes. The reason why I took that scholarship, and I'm going to break that down to you, Texas, moving forward to Texas, this is true. I signed to go to the University of Houston. I was supposed to be a Cougar and play with the University of Houston. In my senior year, I would have played with Clyde Drexler. They swung me to Massachusetts by, Fugazi article, which, I'm going to let you track it down. The Boston Globe wrote it, so it was, I can be in the 1980 Olympic. I have to play like Julius Erving, and, I was going to be honest certain things, and it didn't pan out the way it's supposed to be. I was supposed to go to school of dentistry. None of that was there. No transportation. So I had to call on some of my friends and come home in a limousine every other day, being chauffeured. This is true. So Massachusetts scholarship was supposed to be for Terry Henderson, Tom Henderson brother. So Tom Henderson.
Right.
Henderson is my best friend till today because of the fact that was the school of his choice, but they took the talent. I ain't going to say Terry wasn't talented. They said they can utilize me more. So, I honored that scholarship, but when I got a wind of that, I left. People said I fell out. I had 2.4. I didn't get a 2.5. No, I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel comfortable in a setting where I see things just not developing in my way. Massachusetts is a very promising and wealthy state. I won't take nothing from the University of Massachusetts. However, $300 a week it's only $1,200 a month. Do the math. That wasn't paying my cell phone bill at that time. I had a beeper service where I keep putting quarters in there, and it's about $1,200 a month. So, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, saying that, having said that, it wasn't really worth my while to transition to Massachusetts, no transportation, to live in a dormitory as a junior and not live off campus, to be in a co-ed dorm where, you know, racism still plague us today. So I felt kind of out of place. You can take the brother out the Bronx, but you can't take the Bronx out the brother. So I'm gonna educate you on that. They wanted to be a real Bronx head. They wanted me to fight. They wanted me to do certain things I don't want to do. Moving forward to being at the University of Massachusetts, I'm blessed to get that scholarship. However, I can't say it wasn't for me. My name wasn't to sign that stamp, sign, seal, and deliver. So to today, you know, I honor that, but they didn't honor me.
Okay. What was you know, you when we hear stories like what Pee Wee Kirkland went through, you know, Moto Green, Joe Hammond, and all the things that we heard about those guys, you know, your name kind of flies in that same range with those guys. Did you ever play against those guys? Not Moto, because I know Moto was your mentor. We talking about Pee Wee and Joe Hammond. Were they before you?
They was before me.
They was before you?
Yes, we share conversation and certain things of that nature, but not on the basketball court. Pee Wee is a good friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? Joe Hammond is one of my very close friends. Until today, I've still tried to, you know, upgrade and lift him and get him out of Harlem, because I think he deserves a platform, which you have a platform and I have a platform. So he deserved that because he is Harlem.
Yeah, I spoke to Joe at the Captain School City Championship and invited him on, and he told me he definitely will get back to me. So I have his number. If you reach out to him, I'm quite sure he'll listen to you and be, you know, excited to come on here as well as Pee Wee Kirkland, who I spoke to as well.
Well, I have a platform which I can reach out to ball players. I want to thank you and salute you, my brother. And I'm happy to be on this show so people can understand me as a person, not a character. And, you know, those brothers paved the way for brothers like me and under me, so you can get that wealth. And I'm thankful to be under their wings. I'm thankful to use their name and say I know them. And a lot of people, I'm misunderstood. And I want them to know that. And believe me, I have a mean streak in me that I don't want to see. And a lot of people want to call that out. And I'm thankful to have my mother in my life to be in my ear and say, that's not you, that's not you, that's not you. Because I visited jail. They set me up one time, which, you know, I got a Jewish lawyer and got out of it, you know, said I tried to solicit something, but I played for all jails. And this is education. When you get those silver cuffs on you, this is for the young kids till today. In your name, you're paying the government $40,000, $50,000 just to get those handcuffs. So when you walk to that door of the precinct, which is racist, I don't want to throw that out there too much, you're paying on the clock. So that $40,000 to become $42.50, and every hour on the hour, it raises to $100,000 in your name. So the tougher you are, that's more money you spend. And educate yourself. This is history. Once you get a record that stigmatize you for the rest of your life, you can't get no government job. You can't produce yourself in life, not unless you have a lot of money. So
Wow.
I'm blessed not to go through the system. I went through the system, but I didn't go through the system. I spent that ball. The ball didn't spin me. And I'm here today that. This is the receipt for a lot of people. This is history. When your resume is better than mine, I listen to you. If it's not better than mine, shut up, put a zipper on it, and keep my name out your mouth, because you don't know me. You know me now. You didn't know me before.
Wow. If you don't mind me asking, how much time did you spend in prison?
I never went to prison. I played for every prison.
Okay, explain that. Now listen. When I was younger, and it's crazy. I'm gonna share something too. So y'all get to understand what New York City basketball was like. When I was a junior in high school, I played for a prominent mobster.
See?
Right? And a lot of people haven't heard this story. And those who know me and was with me, they know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
And we would go up into the prisons and play against the prisoners.
Yes.
Right? This mobster would use us to get into the jails so he can speak to his bosses.
Yes.
Right? We didn't know this. I found this out now that I'm grown.
Yes.
I was talking to one of the guys who went through that process, and when I'm telling you, they would take us up to Saratoga Springs, and we would, watch the horse races, and they would give us $100 tips to go place their bets in the horse races. This is, look, y'all gonna hear a lot about this in my documentary that I got coming out soon. Yeah. Trust me. So when you hear Cornbread tell his story and, get money with these different people and doing certain things, I understand and I get it because I was in that same situation. No, we wasn't throwing games, but we was playing for powerful people.
Yes.
And unless you are guided by the right people, unless you have a strong mind and strong will to keep going in a certain direction, it can throw you off because a lot of guys that play with us were thrown off by it, right? But the key to understanding your situation and how to bounce back from it is even better. Yes. Because a lot of guys don't come back from that. And, fortunately, I didn't have a tragic incident that happened when I was 6 years old. Fortunately, I was found in the gutter with my life almost gone, right? So I was fortunate to only go through part of that process. But some of the things that y'all hearing tonight about what, Cornbread went through and the things he have experienced, you can't judge the book if you haven't really read it, right? You can't walk in this person's shoes unless you wear his size. And even then, your corns might not fit the same, right? Your toenail may be a little bit longer. It may be different. So I know a lot of y'all sit back going, man, but he had a chance to play in the NBA, but y'all didn't understand the circumstances that was happening during the late 70s and mid 70s. My guy, Eric Weaver's right. Those 50 babies is different.
Those days, we paved the way for a lot of brothers, and I'm thankful to be here to talk about it today, to get the lucrative money, to get the millions that they get now. For these high school kids to get signed and endorsement. We paved that way. So, give homage and salute to some of these brothers and learn your basketball history. I call myself the Godfather of street legend basketball because I played for every team in the Bronx. Let me say that. Every organization, the Reverend Burkett, the Trios, the Crusaders, salute to everybody that I played for. I just want people to know is I'm just a humble old soul. And I'm still healing in life. There's nobody perfect in life. And the NBA at my time, in my era, it wasn't for me. I can't sit back and say that, oh, I wish I was in the NBA. No, I don't, because I wouldn't have the life that I have now. Money don't make a person. Money don't bring love. I'm surrounded by happiness, goodness, and love. And I'm thankful. I'm going to get a shout out to a lot of people before this segment is over with. And people going to know that. Because at the end of the day, I have to give them their flowers while they're here. And I'm hoping that we have a building in the Bronx where we can give everybody their flowers. Not from the South Bronx, not from the East Bronx, not from the West Bronx, not from the North Bronx, from the whole Bronx. The BX stand up. Highbridge, I love all of y'all because y'all made me who I am today. And I appreciate y'all.
I'm glad you touched on the kids getting paid in high school, because I want to talk about that just for a little bit. Anthony Rainey, great facts, my brother Cornbread. I truly thank you for the invite tonight. As for me, always seen, known your worth and contributions to the world of basketball, Anthony Rainey. Man, for all the things that you sacrificed and gave up to have kids now being rewarded for their likeness and going to college, and colleges have to be held accountable for what they're going to give that kid now, right?
Yeah.
Back then, it was easy. They could have said, we're just going to put you in the dorm. We're not really going to give you any money. We're not going to really support you the way we should support you, even though we're making millions of dollars off you.
NCAA policy and rules, don't stigmatize me. And that's what happened.
And now today, kids are getting paid. And
I appreciate that. I'm happy with the self-wealth and the appreciation that these owners, but we're gonna touch on that too. I'm not gonna say this sport is just for people of our color, but we dominate the sport here, and we should have shares in things you do. This is why I am the way I am today. If I can't have shares in it, know the owner, and me and him have a relationship, I don't want to be a part of that. Every coach that I played with, you didn't have to coach me. My IQ was high. I coached myself, and this is a reason for that. I have coaches come to get me. I'm in my park, in Nelson Park, to say, listen, I'm betting 100,000 on this game. I need you. Oh,
hold on. Hold on, time out, fam. Yeah, hold on. Around what year is this? This is crazy. 100 G's?
Man, listen, in the 80s, it was 300, $500,000 bet on games.
Ooh.
Chick Jack, I'll say salute Big Jack, Little Jack, Stardust Ballroom, which is a millionaire. Freddie Myers, you play with Milbank and West 4th Street. It was a lot of money on them games, a lot of money on Harlem games. Queens, Tommy Mickens and the boys, I'm throw them names out there. They rode around with trunks of money, 400,000, 500,000, betting 300,000 on a game. And this is go out to a lot of people. This discouraged me from playing basketball. This wasn't about maybe $150,000, $200,000 game back in the ROA. Colonial. This is behind 155th Street on the other side. Colonial. People know the Polo Grounds. I was playing with Chick All-Stars. I was playing against Richie Adams, which is a good friend of mine. Salute him. Walter Berry. They was playing Smokey Machine. Smokey was African. He had all that money. He brought it over with him. So it was a big money game. And as the powers that be, those are my two friends, which I want Walter to say, yo, you know what? We still family. They hurt me that game. I went up real hard. They thought I was going to dunk, and they took me out the air. Came down on both of my wrists, and that was it for me. So that discouraged me. For how much? You was only going to get $1,000, 200,000. You going to hurt your friend for a couple of dollars? It didn't make sense. This is why I'm gifted today. So I put that out there. I need apology because you know what happened. And I'm not a gorilla, but at the end of the day you already know what time it is in my life. So, to come back from that, that's real. So back in the 80s, the NBA didn't have nothing on these bets like FanDuel and all that. That was going on in the street. You made more money on a street game than the NBA. $60,000. Look at the salary cap. Google it today and see if I'm right or wrong. At the end of the day hey, I was walking around 4,000 or 5,000 in my pocket a day. I keep hundreds, and people know that.
Yo, Lord. Time out, yo.
Walk around with that no more because society scares me. These young boys, you have to fit in their world. So after 7 or 8 o'clock, I'm in the house. I'm seasoned, Yo,
G, hold on for a second. I ain't mean to cut you off. Yo, I run a tournament. I'm at the Gershons. I'm at the Zone 6s. I'm at the Dykmans. When these guys is talking about FanDuel, right? That they always use that reference to the gambling that's going on. But I've never heard anyone in the park talk about we betting 100,000. I don't claim to be a street guy. I'm not around those guys, so maybe it's still going on, but I doubt it. Not 100,000 in a street game.
No, it's not. If you have
This
to,
is crazy. $300,000 in a street game or for a bet?
Hey, them games, I was getting paid. It was like a job. I play 5 games a day, and I come home with 4,000 or 5,000. Like I tell you, I fed Highbridge. Ask Highbridge. I used to have people, 10, 20, 30, 40 people in front of my building, 1075 Nelson Avenue, waiting to come back from Harlem to feed them with all the goodies, not with just money, with all the perks that I get. And I got perks because I used to smoke weed. Every now and then, if I didn't have a problem with my heart, I would still smoke today because it makes me ill. So with that being said, Clarence, God bless you, Vaughn Zipper, Jerome Harris, those are a lot of people that say, here, take this with you. Omar, Joe, it's a lot of people that say, here. My best friend, to people don't know today, and this is real. When I was about 12 years old, Fred Brown's like my brother from another brother. Disco Fred Brown. You got to learn your history.
Now, is this the Fred Brown that went to Georgetown?
Nah, that's not the one that gave the ball away. You got to learn this Fred Brown. He gonna be on your show too. This Fred Brown, his father is political. They know the senators. They know everybody. Fred wore gaiters at the age of 8 or 9 years old. Fred had me drink champagne when I was 11, 12. So I'm a champagne head. Champagne do me right. So with that being said, I didn't have to chase no money. Fred used to pick me up and drive around to a bunch of his units and have a bag. And that bag consists of 40, 50, 60,000 ounces or more. So, I don't ask for nothing. Till today, I still got some bad people. Little Daddy, Crego. Yes, I'm going to say that, My man Q, 116th Street. Yes, I'm going to say that. I still got some people that I can say, listen, I don't even have to say nothing. Tracy Morgan slept on my couch. God bless my mother, Tracy Morgan. Yes, that's real. So, I have a relationship with him where I don't have to ask for nothing. I am just very gifted and highly favored because I surround by nothing but money. It's not mine, but at the end of the day, it's people do things for you because of who you are. So people cannot walk in my shoes. And this too, friends and family. I'm not trying to say you can't be me. I had a transition in my life where it's better to be who I am, to be somebody you want me to be.
Listen, Vera Beckford said, Walter and I are watching, Brad.
That's my family out in Atlanta, Georgia. Walter, he got his own car dealership. I'm coming to see you. He's blessed. That's a bag, man. I don't want to say that. Vera is my best friend on the female side. If I don't want for nothing from her. She checks on me every day. So, these are the people that share my life, not my story. And I'm very humble and grateful and thankful for them. Miss Bedford, Miss Austin.
Wow.
Mrs. Austin, many blessings to your health and wealth. I salute you, Walter. I'll see y'all soon.
Wow, this is crazy. Bruce Harris says, I was there, a tag along, and ate a lot of the restaurants when these coaches took players out to eat. Lisa Pierce, wow. Tracy Morgan, I'm learning a lot. Who's this? Shawnee Crosby, congratulations, Curtis.
Yeah, that's my family too. Let me elaborate on this. Every restaurant in New York City I ate from and didn't have to pay. I used to go down 86th Street, 34th Street and wait for one of the millionaires and eat anything I want. Lou Dalmado, the Gaucho family, used to take us to any restaurant and just eat plentifully, eat anything you want. So I was brought up and shared a great life. So people don't know that. They just see me and say, this and that. No, I am grateful and thankful and I appreciate my life till today because I'm sharing my life with a lot of people. In this story, I'm only doing this because I want people to know who I am as an individual. No malice in my heart. No criminal record. Don't steal. Get that right. And don't beg. I might borrow, and so I might be owing a couple of dollars. Ain't nobody gave me $10,000 to say go ahead. Only my bestie that worked in the pizza shop, 164th Ogden Avenue. It says Gambino's on it. Get that right. At the age of 12, riding in BMW and all exotic cars. Say here, put that in your pocket. No questions asked. Bobby Lee, this is a shout out to you. And the law took half of his life because they didn't like it. So that's why I say when you're on the blacklist, you got to be careful. You know, when I, like you said, the transition living in the Bronx, I was stigmatized and I was labeled a bad person because that's how the Bronx is.
Well, and then also, you know, people talk about when they're watching you and they want to bring you into their circle, they're watching, you know, the company you keep. I watched a short video of Carmelo Anthony explaining how David Stern approached him and told him that they knew all the guys who he was hanging with and they know exactly what they were doing. And you have to get those guys away from you, no matter if they're your friends or not. We know what they're doing and you shouldn't have them around you. And I think that's one of the reasons why Carmelo Anthony didn't have the retirement that he was supposed to have because of the company he kept. They forced Allen Iverson out the league the same way. So, and you know, we talk about your situation. I could imagine during those stages of the NBA, there was like in their, still in the infancy stages, like in the 70s and 80s, you know, to get the brand out there. And New York was known for having a lot of street ball players play for guys who was getting money or being bagmen, right? So I understand the stigma that comes with that, because when you're a ball player, they expect you to be
shirt and tie,
square, and that's the way we move up the ladder. But again, your circumstance, which happened when you were 6 years old, that kind of, I think, led you to the path that was created for you in the long run, right? Some guys was able to dodge those situations where, you know, you still to this day, you talk about how you still healing.
Yes.
And you get what I'm saying?
I'm going to give a shout out to Bishop Owens. You know, he's one of my mentors to today. He came in my life, you know, a little bit late last year and this year here, and he's doing a tremendous job. I want to salute him today. He has the church, Golden Sword International in Bronxville, and he has one in Poughkeepsie, just brand new. So shout out, salute you, Bishop Owens. I told you, I'm going to make sure I give you shares of my life because you allowing me to heal a proper way. I had a pastor, Pastor Reverend Sutton. I am a member of Friendly Baptist. My mother instilled church in me while I was young. So the goodness and the greatness is in me. However, you know, some people are, how would you say, malicious, and they want you to validate them, not yourself. They want you to fit in their world. You know, they don't want to stay in their lane. Fix your lane, your life, and leave mine alone. Because at the end of the day, mine is great and impeccable. My resume say this, speak for itself. I can educate a lot of people on how I traveled, how many jobs I had. You know, I retired from a healthcare system, Health and Hospital Corporation. I worked around many nurses and doctors. I communicated with the upper level management, the CEOs. I saved money for the corporation, millions and millions of dollars, and they don't want to pay for your worth. But at the end of the day I didn't chase that money. I didn't want to be a boss. They want you to be a supervisor. They want you to be a boss. No. If you want to just pay me $30,000, $40,000, that's all right. I got $8,000 in my pocket. I'm working in Justine's. I'm working in 40/40 Club. I'm working for celebrity Jim Jones, his party. And, you know, I'm getting all those perks. So at the end of the day is my revenue comes in plentifully, overwhelming in my life. So I'm grateful about that. And I'm going to salute my sister, Ann Phauls. This is a true story. Moving back to going to college, trying to fit in the University of Massachusetts and didn't feel good about the, you know, my own accolades and achievement. They wanted to be a Bronx hothead. One game, it was what you call Budweiser week, Budweiser player of the month. You know, I was supposed to be Budweiser players of the month. A basketball player which made the pros, Sam Clancy, University. I don't want to throw that out there because I might get sued. One of the players kept on elbowing me, and I had to turn around and hit him with an elbow. This is the true story in University of Massachusetts. I want to get this tape. Sam Clancy chased me. You know, he had a scholarship to play pro football and basketball, which he chose in the football. He chased me, and I ran just like I never ran from hybrids, never ran, never will. I ran because I didn't want to show them I was from the Bronx. You know, I could have stood up there and fought that battle. I could have hit him with a chair. I could have did a lot of things, but at the end of the day is my respect for that University of Massachusetts, I did not fight. He chased me for like 2 minutes. My sister, which I had my brother there, and I had his friend there, was 6'9", and my best friend, God bless the dead, Tommy Jr., it took them a minute to get there. My sister was the first person that got on the court and hit the player, Sam. And he turned around and looked like she just stung him and froze him. Dropped a $10,000 bracelet. Security came. He looked, started chasing me again. I ran by the football players. They scattered. My family was there. I stood by them, my brothers and, you know, my best friend, and he paused it. And I look back at that. That's why I didn't really want to forward my education here, because I didn't fit in at that time. And my mind, it was altered. You know, this is true. Once you take separation from people that's together, had I been white, they would have took me and my best friend. If I was Jewish, they would have took my family and his family to the University of Massachusetts. Because I was black and very skillful, they just took me. So that put a wedge between me and Terry Henderson. Till today, we mend that, and he's my best friend. So acknowledging that, this is the reason why I withdraw from school. I could have did extra credit. I could have went to, you know, those classes, professional speak classes, but to presentation that they try to honor and didn't, you know, accommodate me with that, I didn't feel comfortable. So this is the reason why I opted out and say, look, I'm better off with, you know, this street money. So this is not for everybody. This is not for any kid to hear this and say, oh, let me do what Curtis Phauls did. No, because at the end of the day is those times and at that era, things are different now. You know, so, you know, having said that, I'm very grateful and lucky because I was blessed to be surrounded by wealth.
Man, I'm glad that you let the kids know that it's not for them and it's not for everybody, and that was just the path that you had to take. And also coming on here and sharing so much of yourself. I just want to say thank you, man. It's just been mind blowing. I think about when I have Carlton Green up here, when I had Tiki Maybin from Troy, New York, another ball player, and he went to Massachusetts as well.
Yes.
Right? Well, I'm gonna put up his story, because his story was so intricate and he went through so much, and he was in the streets as well.
Yes.
But I'm gonna make sure I share it with you, because those 3 stories stick out to me, with yours being the third, because so much turmoil and the choices you had to make. And, you know, us as kids coming up, you know, there's 2 sides we could be on. A lot of us can fit perfectly in both. and you did that for such a long time until you couldn't do it anymore. But I just want to say thank you for coming on. And I have one more question I want to get into, and then we're going to do our top 5 and have some fun and leave out of here on the high note.
Honor a lot of people. I want to honor the people that paved the road for me and the people that allow me to be where I'm at today.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely give you time to do that as well. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely let you do that for sure. If it was one thing you could change about your life, like one thing about your whole basketball journey, that you could change, what would it be?
How people handle me, how I was misunderstood. Learn your coaches, know their habits, and know their fetishes. Because some of these billionaire coaches, which is have the craziest fetishes in the world. So this is to all the young kids and the parents. Watch your child. Watch your child. That's true. You know what I'm saying? Don't put your guards down, because these millionaires, they have crazy fetishes in life. So, you know, if I had to change it, I'll be more into understanding why me? Because at the end of the day, it was illusion. It's fugazi. Because when you're young and you want to gravitate because you want to be identified, you want to be, you know, not misguided, understood, you gravitate to the wrong things in life. So be very careful so you can protect yourself. I wasn't protected when I was young, and I'm thankful and grateful that my older brother, he put me in a situation where I wasn't misguided too much. You know, I'm not gonna say, you know, nothing bad about nobody in my family. However, you know what I'm saying? Some people want you to fit in their life to be happy for themselves. I'm happy for myself. So if I wanted to change anything, I would change the understanding that I have to be that person. I wouldn't change nothing else in the world, because I'm happy and I live comfortable and I'm surrounded by love. I live on top of the hill, and that's all I can ask for. You know, people didn't make this plateau in life. I didn't make that level where this platform where I educated myself, where I played in every arena. I played overseas, pro this and pro that, but not the level of the United States basketball. So that's the only thing I'm not, you know, misguided about. And I want to give a shout out to my friend that played with the Lakers, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Spriggs. He went to Santos Center with me. Here's a salute to you, my brother, because he held me down. I want to get a shout out to a lot of my Texas family, and, you know, a lot of my alma mentors and a lot of people that put away some money for me in Texas, in Venezuela. Just send that money there, because, you know, it was supposed to be 80 racks. I only received 45 of it. So, you know, you can send that money, you know. So, you know, when you don't really want for nothing, but people think you do, you're blessed and highly favored. So I was fortunate, not lucky, because I live by faith, and I'm highly blessed. When you have good people in your life, surround yourself around good people. That way you will have good things and good fortunes will pass through your life. So I'm blessed in that nature.
Yeah, I want to definitely give a shout out to a friend of mine up here, AB Money and his film company, Threes Cinema Media. You know, when I look at his life and all the people that he is able to connect with and still make dreams come true and live, you know, his own truth and walk his own path. And man, for some reason, he's always able to take something small and make something huge out of it. And the fact that we've been friends from teenagers and still friends to this day, and him bringing his film company here and have you a part of it, I want to make sure that they get some of this in there. We're going to take some of this. I'll send you, you know, the right form. So make sure that you get the coverage that you need. Hold on for 1 second. Yo, Chandler. They went down? All right, cool. So I want to get through this top 5, and then they'll take pieces and bits, and we'll chop it up and make sure that, because this episode definitely is recording me right now as we speak. It's facing me though, but I want to make sure that they get a clip of you in there as well. So with saying that, I want to get into top 5, right? So this is how we're going to do this real quick. And we're going to have some fun with this. We're going to have some fun.
Spot too, man. You're going to put me on the spot. So
yes.
I'm gonna throw 2 or more.
Hey, listen, I only need 5. I can't have a sub. I need, right?
I'm just
straight names, no story, just straight names. Because you're going to leave out somebody. That's everybody can't go to the party. All right, so we're going to get into the top 5.
Top 5. Top 5.
All right. Top 5 players you played against.
I'm going to have to start off with Richie Adams, Gary Springer, Cheese Johnson.
Ooh, hold on. Time out. Yo. Those, you even get to the name all 5, but definitely need those 3. I've been hearing Cheese Johnson name so much, it's crazy. It's like your name popping up. When I spoke to Bruce was like, y'all love what you're doing, man, but you got to get my Bronx guys on there, man. I said, yo, I just put up Sam Graham, man. Sam Graham from the Bronx. He went to Cardinal Hayes. He said, no, there's so much more that you need to get on there, man. But first you need to get Cornbread up there. And I was like, word, I heard that name. He's like, no, you need to get Cornbread up there. So salute to Bruce, man. Thank you for bringing you on the show. And you got 2 more. But I definitely need those 3 right there.
I don't hurt nobody's feelings. This is the top 5 from Manhattan. That's why I'm
No. We're
gonna change it because I have to. So this is the top 5 from Manhattan. I said Cheese, Kevin Williams, Willpower. He played for Seattle.
Yeah.
Bill Sattler.
Okay.
And Alex Hooper. So that's Manhattan. Now I gotta go with the Bronx because I'm a Bronx native. So
I wish you would.
So I gotta do the Bronx. I gotta put my brother in there, number 1, Troy Truesdale.
Got you.
Master Rob in there, the great one. That's my brother, and salute him, Master Rob. I'm gonna put Pookie Wilson in there. Pookie Wilson.
Ooh.
All right? I'm going to put Muggsy in there. Muggsy, the road runner. I salute Muggsy. You got to get him on your show. Muggsy.
Oh, yeah. We talk. Yes, definitely. We definitely going to make that happen. Yeah.
I'm going to put Byron Strickland in there.
All right, we're gonna take Pookie Wilson off because Pookie Wilson was from Far Rock. He just played in the Bronx.
Okay. So I'll use John Morton.
Yeah, for sure.
Byron Strickland, and the last one, Mike Bright.
Y'all notice Cornbread is killing it, right? Cornbread have a starting 5, 2 coming off the bench.
Manhattan, and I had to do the Bronx because if I see these brothers right here, they not going to speak because at the end of the day
you got to tell them to come on the show. You just tell them to come on the show. They can name their own 5.
So that's the top 5 for Manhattan, top 5 for the Bronx. Put that together, that's 10. You got a team. I didn't want to go with 2 more subs because I could do that. But I'm going to get acknowledgments to my daughter from, not by birth, Kia Vaughn. Played in the WNBA.
Yes.
I am with her moms, Aja Ellington. And by the powers they be, they are helping me heal in life. So a shout out to Kia Vaughn and her husband.
Yeah, let's get her on the show too, man. We got to celebrate the ladies of basketball as well.
My platform is anybody that you want to get on that show that I can touch out to, which my reach is long. I will reach out to them, and believe me, they will do this in honor of you. All I need was one of them headsy shirts and all that so I can represent.
Come on, man. Come on. Basketball is merch right here, baby. It's only the best. You wearing this good.
Like that.
Thank you.
You and your staff, I salute y'all and thank y'all. Y'all doing a great work. Y'all are very, very impeccable and appreciate what y'all doing. Many blessings to y'all, because at the end of the day is the Bronx don't have a platform where we can do this and honor people. You do it in every.
Don't they? Dorian Green has the
Graham.
Dorian Graham. Excuse me, Dorian
California.
Graham. Yes, Dorian Graham. Yes.
Graham is in California. Shout out to Dorian Graham, because he helped me build my platform too. You know, I want him to talk to the investors, so we working on that now to help restructure and revitalize the Bronx. So Dorian's a part of the program, but
good guy, man, good guy.
I don't think he's really from the Bronx. And you know, God bless the day, Chris Brooks. Chris was a legend.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of names that I'm missing. I can't say because he's only 5, but just salute to all my basketball brothers and heads, because I love all of y'all. Without y'all, I couldn't be me.
All right, listen, we're going to keep this nice and sweet.
Yes.
Top 5 players in New York City history through your eyes. Only 5. Only 5 can make it.
Top 5 players in New York City?
In New York City history.
Oh, history. So we going from era to era, decade to decade?
Yeah, whoever 5 you think are the top 5 in New York City history.
Rod Strickland, Tiny Archibald, Mojo.
So who is Mojo? I heard that name before.
That's Carlton Green. You have.
Oh, to my Moto. Yes.
Mojo.
Hold on. Is it Mojo or Moto?
Mojo.
Wow.
Yes, it's Mojo. See, put the mojo on you. Carlton used to do spins for five in a row, get you dizzy.
Got you.
You know, he paved the way for me.
Got you.
And
two more.
Steve Burt.
I
have to give a salute out to Steve Burt. And definitely, I'm going to go with my boy Gary Springer. Dip. You know, I was hating to go with them. But, you know, if I didn't throw Gary Springer in there, the best player I ever played with, and still to today, is always going to be a legend in he was on the blacklist, Grasshopper, Artie Green. I'm going to get him on your show too, but he's not from the Bronx. Artie Green is number 1. Master Rob is number 2. So, you know what I'm saying? I got to mention these guys' names because I don't. You know, I have
3 more. Who you play? The 3 more you played with. Give me the 3 more.
3 more?
Yes.
Ernie Cobb. Ernie Cobb came out of Boston. And I would love to play with Kyrie's father, Dedrick Irving. So he's
one more.
I would have to go Nigel. See, they talk about him a lot. I have to go with Nigel. Nigel did things, and you know, if I want to substitute that, Alonzo Williams, super kid, Alonzo Jackson. People don't know about him in his era. You know, he was like Joe Hammond.
Gotcha.
So, you know, I can't say I have a real top 5 because my basketball history in my life, I played with the greats. So I'm going to leave a lot of people out. So me, by picking 5 people, I can't say. I know.
That's the whole point.
So that's why you did that. That's why you did that. Yes.
That's the whole point. To jam you up. We done talked about a whole bunch of things. It's like, okay, now it's time to have some fun and make that brain really work. But listen, my brother, I want to say thank you for coming on. We're about to get out of here and let you go.
And yes,
anything you like to say before we get out of here, before I wrap it up?
Yes, I want to salute my cul-de-sac family up here, my neighbors up here that took me in, Colleen and Chris. I want to salute my other neighbors, Samantha, Tom. I want to salute my other neighbors, John behind me and his family. I want to salute my other neighbors, Nazi and his family. I especially want to give a special thanks to Georgia and her family. And I want to give real special thanks to just being here on the show and my family. So, you know, God bless everybody. Just want people to know I'm misunderstood. and don't test my gangster.
Well, we definitely gonna end it on that, man. Man, listen, appreciate you. And yo, Walter Berry, I would love to have you on the show, man. So thanks for everybody on the check-in.
Any text the name, just let me know. I'll
Got you.
Follow through on that. And I appreciate for being your show. And once again, I salute you and your staff, and thanks for having me. This wasn't for no political, economic gain, you know, and I'm grateful and thankful that y'all have this show, because y'all give us a platform to, you know, speak our mind so people can understand us, because we misunderstood.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, King.
One more thanks. I
Yes.
want to give special thanks to my king and queen, my queen, my kids, Lisa Phauls, Nicole, and my son, Curtis Phauls Jr. You know, this is for y'all. Be very independent and understand life, so that way you have all the blessings. I love y'all dearly. I can have had 12 kids, 20 kids, but I chose to have a king and a queen. I'm blessed to have y'all in my life.
Yes, salute. Thank you, brother. I want to give a shout out to everybody that was in the check-in from the time we, cracked open the show. Man, these chats is going crazy. Wow, this is crazy. Alatola Beats, E. Weaver, Anthony Rainey, Lisa Pierce, Ronald McCants, Millie Miyagi. Wow, I put that up there.
Look out for him, because he's the next. He ain't no A Boogie. He's the next up-and-coming rapper. That's what's giving me love today.
Wow.
So look out for Millie Miyagi, okay?
Got you. Shout out to Millie Miyagi for sure.
Yeah.
Ayatollah Beats again, Bruce Harris. Who else on the check-in? Tisha D's on the check-in. Who else? Want to make sure I shout everybody out. Gerald Thomas. We know who that is.
And I want to give a special thanks to my cousin. She raised me, Rose, Lillian Rose. All my cousins, Michelle, Keisha, Lisa. I was raised from a lot of women that helped me, shelter me in life, and said, don't worry about it, it's going to be all right. So this is a salute and shout out to Rose and her upper staff. Miss Davis, Miss Gloria Davis allowed me to represent not only the Bronx, live in a co-op building with no down payment. Here's a shout out and salute to Miss Davis and her family, the Davis family. Mike Davis, Carl Davis, Charles Davis. Salute to all of y'all. And I don't want to start shouting and saluting to all the privileged women that's corporate in my life. Loretti Bob, want to be thankful for giving me, the platform to speak today. Francis Brown, I want to thank you for helping me when I was going through my trials and tribulation when my mom's passed, when I worked in the Prince George Hotel on 28th Street, the Douglas program for Kelsey. People don't understand that. I took many of jobs where it wasn't for the money. I'm thankful and blessed for all the people that I can't name today. I can't name everybody. It's a shout out to my partner, Marcus. I see you, Marcus. You see me. This is a shout out to my new family. This is a shout out to my wife, cousin, Karen, and to her crew, Frank and Dave, and Showtime. Shout out to all my new found family. I want to just acknowledge the fact that I appreciate y'all in my life and understand me.
Thank you. Everybody, make sure you tell a friend, tell a family member, share this with your friends, family, cousins, neighbors. Share this, because everybody need to hear my God's story. Thank you, Cornbread. I appreciate you, man. We about to get out of here, man.
Moving forward with this, send out our email so we can get these investors to help us revitalize the Bronx, because you're a big part of that, an entrepreneur part of that, and I want to thank you for that. So I don't want to throw out some names. Let's just help rebuild the Bronx, and thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Salute. No doubt. Man. Wow. When you think you heard it all, you ain't hear nothing. When you growing up in New York City, you're a kid, you never dream to meet your idols, right? And have them to be who you thought they was. But when they are, that's another story. You get to experience the true meaning of legendary. I've heard his name so much. I've never seen him play. I've never seen him in person until tonight. I just saw pictures, heard stories. You hear the rumors. You hear the legendary talk. But once you get to hear it from their own mouths, you get to understand why certain people take the path that they take. I'm blessed to be in this position to talk to some of our legends and get the real story behind what really happened. There's so much going on in a city with 8 million stories, and we only can get them. We only can get them one at a time. I'm just caught up right now because, I never dreamed that I will be in this position to be making sure that our legends and our greats have a platform to tell their story. So I want to give a shout out to Gregory Curtis, Cornbread Phauls, for sharing the story. And we're about to get out of here. Just remember, this is Glenn Pooh Harding from Basketball Heads Live Podcast on NYC Basketball Network. We are the official home for New York City basketball. Everybody to check in. Make sure you share this. Subscribe, like, keep commenting. This is beautiful. We out. Peace.